before finalising this video, I've just finished work for the day, and I just wanted to do a side-by-side comparison of the two softwares. Now I've just turned the radio off. I've just found some frequency that is actually quite good, and that's on the 7076 tonight. There's a lot of signals coming in. I'm just going to readjust the audio levels, as you see over on this one. I'm just going to make sure that first of all I'm going to set it up on a blank frequency to actually get, I'll just clear that off, and just make sure that we'll have exactly the right audio settings. So I'll just fire the radio up, and I'm going to just put it on a vacant frequency for a minute. I'll just put it down there for now, just so that I can get the audio here. Okay, so you can see it's flashing -1, -2, -1. So I'll just might bring up my mic input a little bit on that. I'll just go into recording devices, microphone for the 7300, and I'm just going to adjust the level just up 1 from 6 to 7. Go okay. I'm just going to bring that over, and you'll see now it's sitting on 0. Most of the time it's sitting on 0, and I have the audio gain here on 0. So that's a pretty good level that I've got it on right now. Okay, so with that in mind, because we're only using the left channel here, I'm going to set the radio on. Alright, now the radio is active. I'm going to change the frequency here. Both the clocks are in sync, 1252, 1252, and that's important that your clocks are in sync too, that you take advantage of the internet. Make sure your time is set correctly, so that you're not off the time grid by anything. Okay, so now I've got that done. I'm going to just set this onto the 7076 megahertz on this one, which will set the radio. And here we go. The tones are now coming through. Now this is what I mean by the decoding ability of each program. This is a very easy program to use, the JT65 the JT65-HF is very easy to use, but the audio levels can be a bit confusing, whereas you don't need to really worry about the audio levels on the JTDX version 17.0.1, which actually does, in my opinion, this is the better program to use. Now let's just let that run for a minute, and we'll see what happens. Now, of course, the audio has gone into the red, and when it's in red, it doesn't decode very well. You can see here on the waterfall that the signals are very strong indeed. So what we also have running are little add-ons that I talked about earlier. Now, these add-ons you can get for each various program, and it tells you the activity on each one. There we go. Now, we've just had our first decode pass. On the HF65, we have 3 decodes, 1 CQ and 2 decodes, and look what's popped up over here on this one. We have 2 CQs. We have a whole lot of conversations going on. So we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 decodes as opposed to 3. So again, this is just a side-by-side comparison. They're receiving the exact same audio, the exact same level, and if you look up here on these JT alerts, there's 3, and if you look over here, there's 4, 5, 6, 7 alerts. Now these alerts are simply showing you that who's calling CQ and who's in conversation. And if you just highlight these, they show you how many people are actually on the band, each band. And the same applies for these. These plugins are separate to what? Now there you go, there's another decode. We've had a fresh timeline of 1254. And we had 4 on here, and 1254 over here. Well, you can see there's 2, 4, 6, 7 decodes with the CQ. We didn't get the CQ on the JT65. So there we are. That's a side-by-side comparison of the two softwares, and I honestly think that the JTDX is a much better software to use. It's not maybe as nicely laid out with the colors, but certainly it's decoding a lot better and receiving a lot more. This one with the 65HF, you have to fiddle around with the audio levels too much. This one I just leave on the default, just make sure my microphone level's down. So I hope that helps you decide which software you're going to use, and my recommendation is the JT65. Again, there we go. There's another one that's just come in. We've picked up one CQ on this 1255 timeline, and over here on two signals, and on this 1255 timeline, it's picked up 5, 2 CQs and 3 in conversation. So there we are, guys. The choice is pretty clear. It's just a matter of getting used to it.